Hello Anglo students, it's great to be able to talk to you today. My name is Dominic. I'm a professional mechanical engineer and STEM ambassador for the Institute of Mechanical Engineers. I work for an engineering consultancy in the automotive industry, which basically means I work to develop cars. Today I'm going to take a few minutes to tell you a little bit about engineering careers, how I got into my career and the steps you can take from now and in the future. First of all, let's start with some definitions. What is engineering? You're probably familiar with the term STEM, and you probably have a pretty good grasp of what science, technology and maths because you've been studying those for a few years. Engineering might be new to some of you, so let me explain how I think of these topics and how they fit together. Science is about knowledge and research, learning how the world, and indeed the whole universe, works, whether things are man-made or natural. Technology, I think, is about tools that we use. These can be physical tools like a plasma cutter or a 3D printer, or virtual tools like IT, information technology, and that's how computers help us control, manage and share information. Engineering is then the application of the tools, technology and the knowledge, science, to make new products that work. We use our skills as engineers to design things so that we know they'll work. If you're designing an aeroplane, there's not a lot of room for error. Maths crosses all of science, technology and engineering. It's like the language that binds them together. Now, I don't need to remind Anglo-European students of the importance of languages. Some people struggle with maths, but just like when you hear a language for the first time, you might not understand it, but you can learn some key words, understand the grammar patterns and then practice. Maths is just the same. So, back to engineering. There are many different types of engineering specialities. I'm a mechanical engineer, which is quite a broad category of engineering, but obviously focused on mechanical things. I work in the automotive industry, so that means cars, but it also can mean motorbikes, vans, buses, commercial vehicles. There are other specialities such as aeronautical or aerospace engineering, which focuses on aeroplanes, rockets and spacecraft. Biomedical engineering focuses on equipment and technology used in operations to repair the body and things like prosthetic limbs. Really, there are too many different types of engineers to mention here. We've shared a useful booklet with your teachers which explains some of these and gives you some insight into the career path that you might be interested in following. In my own case, I did GCSEs, A-levels and then went to university to study for a Masters in Mechanical Engineering. That's not the only route to becoming an engineer, but it was the one that was available to me. I didn't actually realise I wanted to be an engineer until I was just about to apply for university. I'd always been interested in cars, how things worked, and I was always taking things apart. It wasn't until I was speaking with the dad of a friend that I realised his career was just what I wanted to do. Then it all clicked into place. I chose mechanical engineering because it gave me a broad skill base and I could work wherever I wanted, even though I was pretty sure that I wanted to work with cars. Between my second and third years, I did a year in industry where I worked in Formula One, developing the engine for Mercedes-Benz. It was great to get hands-on experience and it really did help my studies when I went back to university. Because I work for an engineering consultancy, my job can change quite a lot depending on what project I'm working on. At the moment, I'm helping a major car company develop a prototype for their next generation vehicle. My role is to help with the chassis components, so that's everything that holds the wheels on and makes them steer and stop. We are working with suppliers from around the world as they make the components that we've designed for the very first time. At the moment, we're building the first vehicles, and this is the very first time that these components have been fitted together. Our next job will be to test them and confirm they work how we expect them to. If there are any problems, we'll analyse them closely, design the solution, build that, and test that we've solved the problem. I'm really excited for the future of the automotive industry. There are fantastic developments with electric and self-driving vehicles that will be coming very soon. It's a really great time to be an engineer. So that's my career in a nutshell. There are many routes to becoming an engineer. I mentioned that in my case, I had the year in industry between my second and third year for practical experience. If you want to get more hands-on earlier, then you could consider an apprenticeship. This means you get trained to do more practical work and then you build an academic qualification around that. It's a slower route to becoming an engineer, but it might suit some people a bit more. Whatever route you take, there are plenty of jobs in and around the engineering field that you can work towards. My advice for you now is to keep studying STEM subjects where you can, keep asking questions about things and the world around you. You can always look for advice online, and there's many professional engineers who would be happy to answer questions that you have. Your teachers have my email address and the email address of some of my colleagues. We'd be happy to help however we can. It's a great time to be an engineer. and the skills that you learn as an engineer open up many opportunities for you. Good luck, and let me know if I can help.